Welcome to Tuesday Night Torg. I am JM, your GM, and we have all four of the horsemen back with us tonight. Lily, welcome back. Before we get into this, I just wanted to point out that first of all, thank you for tuning in. Second, if you are interested in Torg, go to GameOnTabletop.com. They do have the Tharcold crowdfunding going on. And if you like Ulysses products, Ulysses is doing a con at the end of July. You can sign up for things. They just posted the panel schedule, I think, on Twitter. Ross and I will be doing a Myth panel. Come on by. We'd love to chat with you about Myth. I feel like there's a Myth Taken joke in there, but I won't make it. So let me do the recap, and we will get into our game for tonight. So, last session was intense. You confronted Lapis, who sort of revealed her plan of revenge and dastardliness, and then against what some may have said reason, but playing very much in line with the rules that both Lapis and Lady Salvo are native to. Lapis accepted the trade of Lady Salvo for Sebastian Quinn, the head of the Delphi Council. 2 techno-demons and a lot of fire power later, you guys managed to recover not just Sebastian, but Lapis's cyber papacy asset known as the Weasel. And Lapis did make an escape and blew a hole in the side of the aircraft carrier that the Delphi Council has been using as a headquarters. And through rapidly intaking water, the screams of twisted metal, and the smell of many, many fires, you guys made it to the top deck of the aircraft carrier in hopes of trying to find some way off the ship. And that way presented itself as you heard over the din a familiar voice and saw a boatman named Murray in awe of Edith, sort of standing one leg up on the side of the boat, wearing her new werewolf fur duster, telling you to jump for it. And we will pick up there, but first we have comments, and again, we always appreciate comments. Josh, again, something for Edith. There's a PDF book called The Storm Knight's Guide to Monster Hunters that has the stats for a Slayer's Repeating Crossbow, which I may have to check out for Edith. Ooh. Thank you for that. I do love the fact that you are also keeping Vampires May Not Sparkle, but We Are About to as a hashtag alive and well on YouTube. They referred to V as Hacker Supreme and the Pun Mistress. Well done, Josh. That was great. And he lamented the fact that he did not want to be a janitor on that aircraft carrier. There was a lot of gore that was just sort of strewn about the ship in a very liberal fashion. Also, I would say that thanks to Jay Ben, who pointed out that we stream on Tuesday nights on the Ulysses International channel. Hopefully you are in the chat tonight, Josh. Jay Ben, thank you for pointing that out to everybody who may have just found us on YouTube. So,
I jump into the boat.
You jump into the boat. So we're going to actually fast forward several hours later as you are back on the dock. Blankets and hot cocoa, or hot coffee, or maybe a hot toddy in your hands. Sebastian Quinn sort of rallying the troops. As you can see, the Reagan is not destroyed, but scuttled, maybe at least temporarily. And that is where we will pick up with Maurice and Edith. And Anton, what would you like to start with?
Well, I have a power I can try to heal myself, but it takes an hour. So if it's several hours, I'd like to try it before we pick up there. Called Mend.
Okay, go for it.
It takes 1 hour to try it.
I just said it was an hour, so I can't take that back now.
All right, no, I mean, you could say, no, it's not.
No, go for
conducive because there's a bouncing boat or something, so. because it specifically heals wounds. But just for me. Sorry, guys, can't help you.
I'm all right. Edith, it's good to see you again, says Lady Salvo.
I am relieved I found you guys in time.
So
Very lucky you showed up when you did.
Edith, it was a fight to be remembered in Orosh.
I feel like I have a new scar.
Where?
I think collarbone.
Excellent. You may also increase your toughness by 1 for the hide enhancements to your leather jacket. Not many would be able to say that they took on 2 werewolves in an ambush in a tunnel that leads to the river underneath a gambling den run by an international fence and smuggler known as the Frenchman. None save Edith. I feel like you should have
fought 2 techno demons on the ship. You were sorely missed.
Well, next time. I have not been useful against techno demons.
I was not particularly useful this time either.
All right, so as we while Mark is making his rolls, Ristar96 wants to know, what did you guys buy with your XP? And Edith, you have 10 XP to spend. I am a bad GM and forgot to mention that to you.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm going to buy Boltsmith.
Nice. All right, so now you have your sweet crossbow bolts. I like it. Lady Salvo?
Lady Salvo bought her charisma up from 6 to 7.
Is it how is that evident? Is it more in the way she carries herself, her force of personality? Is it a cool scar?
It's really just 1 point, and it's really still in that middle range. So she's just slightly more likable.
That's right, slightly less gruff.
Yeah, slightly less gruff would probably be a good way to put it.
She's learning the new lingo in this new cosm, so she's able to.
Anton, what did you buy?
I just spent 3 points, and I just raised my kinesis up by 1, which helped. I had to spend a possibility.
Right off the bat.
With that,
okay.
Right off the bat, so I know I'm pleasing Jam. But I was able to heal 2 of my wounds.
Nice. And Maddie, what did Lady V buy?
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet? No, not enough XP, or just not sure what you want to get?
Don't know what to spend it on.
Is there anything you're looking at?
No.
I ask only because perhaps the chat has suggestions.
You could take like a crafting skill. That way you can make an earring out of that cyber eye you popped out of his head.
That could be pretty cool. No, I was debating maybe upping some skills, but I hadn't decided yet.
All right. Bellalette, I believe. I could be mispronouncing this, but I'm on Core Earth and don't have to worry about cyber papacy pronunciations. We'll call him the Weasel. Maddie, am I mispronouncing that? You can tell me. I will accept.
I'd have to see how it's spelled.
Bellette.
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 Probably Bellette.
So he is there as well. The EMTs have just finished going over him. One of them says, "Damn, what did he run into in there?" You hear as they kind of are packing up their bags, and he does have handcuffs on. He also has one of the shock blankets and a small cup of hot coffee, but he does like bandage over his left eye. He does look directly at V for
the weasel. The weasel got popped.
I love it. Now I'm going to see what other NPCs I can kind of work things like that into. So you guys are sitting there. Sebastian Quinn kind of comes over. You can see he seems to be recovering a lot faster. not just faster in the way like a Storm Knight might recover, but faster in the way that Anton seems to have, like, his wounds are actively, like, staunched. He has just minor bandages that were holding together what you guys saw as, cracked ribs and pretty severe gashes, and even the claw marks on his head from where the techno demon looked to be 2 or 3 weeks old at this point, as if they've had plenty of time to start closing. Edith, good to have you back. I'm glad you got here in time. Is that new fur? So what's the plan? No one walks into my house, kicks down the door, and sets fire to the place, and then struts about core Earth unpunished. Do you have any leads?
Well, we know that she didn't get exactly what she came for.
I appreciate that. I assume that is a combination of whatever V did to the weasel over there, and your willingness to sacrifice yourself for me. And I'm appreciative of both.
Just nod my head. It's what any hero would do.
You are aware what she was trying to steal.
I am now. Yes, it looks as if there are certain divisions of the Delphi Council of which even I was not aware of, and I can promise you, I mean to make a thorough cleaning of the house once the flames are out. We are not the High Lords. We oppose them, but we do not use their tactics. That is, and his face sort of, that is the sort of tactic that Volkov would use, not us.
Volkov?
Yes, you're from the Nile Empire. And by God, if I could get the mystery men out of the Nile Empire for even 6 months, I could make significant inroads in other cosms. But that is neither here nor there. Volkov is the president of a nation here on Earth known as Russia. They had significant success against the Day One invasion at a large cost to themselves, and not just the forces of Tharkold. I'm not sure how much you all know, but the High Lord of Tharkold has fallen. And who is the new one is... He pulls something out of his pocket and tosses it to Lady V. Can you activate that? You know that it's essentially a static sound dampener. It'll create a bubble or maybe a dome or a cone of silence. This doesn't leave this circle.
Question for Jam. Do I already know what's happened there, or did it happen while I was gone?
Oh, no, you know. You
Okay.
know. I mean, you've heard rumors. Volkov is the president of Russia, but I believe that he is vying for the High Lord seat of Tharkold. If he can find whatever it is that powers the High Lords, if he can gain dominance over the techno-demons, I'm sure Anton is well aware that the hierarchy of techno-demons has more to do with intimidation and brutality and dominance than it does with any sort of loyalty to Tharkold. I believe Volkov is making a move.
Lapis said she was inspired by someone called the Wolf. though it sounded like she was less interested in high lordship and more in worldly goods.
The Volkov is known as the Wolf. Didn't she mention something about the Wolf's lair? See what you can get out of Weasel. I have to go make sure that a year's worth of work and resources doesn't sink to the bottom of the bay. I will be back as quickly as I can.
Wolves and weasels, at least we don't have someone named Skunk.
You know what? I agree with Greg. Greg said he probably is wishing they would call him the Ferret. I mean, that does have a more French origin, but here's the thing. You can try to choose your nickname, and usually that just makes a worse one stick.
Yeah.
Flashback about 10 years ago where a young spunky hacker's like, no, guys, you can call me the Ferret. And a bunch of mean kids called him the Weasel, and it just stuck. What's the plan?
It was that or the mink. I mean,
That's a wildly different online persona.
I find it very suspicious that we are hearing about the wolf's lair when I am here in search of the source of werewolves.
And that's
Also,
the
I
really
just
interesting
gave
thing.
werewolves, so...
The Frenchman didn't tell you what deal he was setting right. But you were, well, I should say, his specific words were, 5 minutes alone with you in an enclosed space was all that was required to balance the books. And so here we were. Please don't get blood on that. It is incredibly hard to clean out.
Are werewolves known in Darkhold, or are they an Orash thing, or
They're typically an Orash thing.
someone from Orash wants you, Edith?
Oh, well, that I knew. I came here looking for help, and as soon as those werewolves showed up, I knew it was getting close.
Yes. So, we go to Russia? We must bring lots of clean water.
why Russia?
Yeah, why are we going to Russia?
You want to find wolf?
We want to find Lapis.
Yeah, I thought we were trying to find Lapis, who's trying to find her former teammates. Do we have a way of finding out who was on her former team that left her for dead?
You could check with Quinn. The easiest way to figure that out would have been on the hard drive that was sort of fragged by your virus.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Maybe she can defrag it.
You didn't download any info before you fragged that one?
She
didn't
did
have
not.
time.
She did not have time. And as we all know, defragging a hard drive is a very lengthy and time-consuming process. Sorry.
Well, Darkhold is one place we could go look. They do
Maybe
have
Wolf
resources.
knows where Lapis is.
I'd say the odds are good.
We can also check back in with the Frenchman and see if he has any idea where she was going. You know how bad guys like to monologue. She might have told him where she was going.
Do we have a way to contact the Frenchman?
Well, as I'm sure you know, I think one of you has a connection card. That would be
That's
an
true.
easy way to do it. But if you would rather try and go through,
I play a
channels-
connection card.
Lady Salvo, you are not familiar with New York, but you are familiar with cities that never sleep. And so you
And
were
crime.
sure that with an hour or two in this concrete jungle, you could find out where the Frenchman could be found here, or if not him, definitely one of his cronies.
Okay. So
Was it
some
at the
back
casino?
some back alley. There's a fire escape, and there's some goon being dangled over the edge by his boot. Tell me what you know about the Frenchman.
Swear to me.
Wasn't he in a casino?
He was, but that was in Philly.
That was in Philly.
Yes.
30-minute sky cab.
Doesn't work like that.
So so Lady Salvo disappears into the night to find out information on the Frenchman. What are the three of you doing before I tell her what she discovers?
I mean, we can attempt to talk to Weasel and see what he knows.
Hack his brain.
It worked on the techno demons.
Right. Let's just try talking to him first. 'Cause I don't.
What do you want now, V? You already have my eye and my dignity.
Look, Weasel. We've done this dance before.
Yes, but are you in scrubs because they had to peel the pants that you soiled because a virus ran rampant through your hardware? No. What do you want?
I don't know why you didn't expect that. Again, we play this game. Anyway, do you know where Lapis is headed? I can maybe get you leniency if you give us any information on where she's going. Maybe some funds for a new eye, new cyber deck. 'Cause I don't think that one's going to work anymore.
He kind of like, really? You would do this for me? I tell you what I know, and I get leniency and some credits for some time on the Godnet, and maybe you wouldn't be willing to give that one back that you took, would you?
Oh, I think it went down with a ship.
That's my favorite eye.
There are consequences for the actions that we take. I can't promise anything. I can talk to Quinn. I do have the director's ear, so we can see what we can get.
And my eye, are you just collecting body parts?
Perhaps.
All right, what do you want to know? All right, before we answer your question, Anton and Edith, what are you two doing? By the way, Edith, Maury.
He's my NPC from the club.
He's the NPC from the club who is the one who drove the boat. You did have to kind of press him into service, and so...
Press is a strong word. He threw himself into that breach.
He survived the werewolves. I
That's
mean,
true.
you know.
The chat is now suggesting that Weasel become a nemesis. I mean, possibly. So, what are you two doing while this is going on?
I'm just trying to rest again and gather enough strength to try some more mending because I'm still wounded.
Alright.
So we're at the
I gave
docks.
my suggestion, so we'll see.
What was that, Edith?
We're at the docks.
You are at the you're at the New York City kind of harbor area.
Are there people around?
Oh,
on
there are.
other
I mean,
vessels?
the Delphi Council agents are combing the place. You can hear the sounds of fire and rescue sirens kind of coming down to the area, but the Delphi Council is sort of keeping people away from their harbor access, as well as they have their own boats that are sort of going out. I mean, you can see these things are shooting streams of fire retardant foam, 40, 50 feet, trying to put out the fires before you kind of catch in the murmur, before something really bad happens. And you're not sure what that means.
Nuclear power.
You're saying it's some sort of nuclear vessel?
Wessel.
Nuclear vessel.
I would like to talk to anybody who appears to be from the Delphi Council who is not actively fighting the fire.
Okay.
What you want, Edith?
There. I mean, Anton is right there.
Hey,
He's
buddy.
like, hi.
There is also a woman in her late 30s, beret, tactical gear, Delphi Council symbol on her shoulder and on her chest, and she is barking orders to people. Get the civilians back. Get me more EMTs down here. Figure out what's going on in in rescue, that sort of thing.
I want a perimeter about 200 meters out, no civilians in range.
That's right.
Somebody get me search and rescue.
Who has my coffee?
She barks out an order, and you see about a half dozen people scrambling to fill it.
Okay. I'm Edith. I'm with the council.
Major
need some
Bennett,
information
Storm
on
Knight.
werewolves.
Heard about you and your team. What can I do for you?
I need some information about werewolves.
She gives you a little smirk. Werewolves? Sorry, listen, I've been stationed here in New York City for the last year. I mean, I have intelligence briefings on werewolves. I know that they only come out at night. What specifically are you looking for?
I'm just curious if you've had any, if you've had more unexplained disappearances here in the last, I don't know, year and a half.
Unexplained disappearances. Hey, Simon, I need you to get over here. Bring that report that we were talking about last week. No, the one about the people in the city who have been going missing. Yeah, that's the one. Give me some time, and there have been an increase in strange events in New York City. Fire department actually brought it to our attention. Give me just a couple of minutes. All right, so Lady Salvo.
The Frenchman. How do I contact him?
This guy, so here's the thing. He's got a stronger New York accent, and he's got longer hair, but his facial features seems to be a distant relation to someone. He's like, listen, all I know is that the Frenchman has, he's not here. He's further west in Philly. But I know that he has a penthouse apartment here in the city, still on the core Earth side. I can give you the address.
Where is it?
Please don't drop me.
All right.
Okay.
So he gives
Okay.
you an address to a high-rise apartment building, kind of near Central Park, and basically he gives you an address. In fact, he just keeps screaming the address to you. It doesn't mean anything, but you get the ring of truth from it.
All right. So we'll do like a wipe, and then I'm like walking back to the group. You know, I have an address for a penthouse somewhere in town. It's belongs to the Frenchman. Maybe we can contact him there.
Would be good place to rest.
All right. All right, V. What do you wish to know?
Do you know where Lapis is headed next?
So here's the thing. I ran with Lapis for 2 months. She's got a safe house in a dozen different cities between this cosm and the papacy and all of those other weird ones that you keep hearing about. But if she was going to go lick her wounds, my guess is she'd go to the place. She'd go to the guy who's bankrolling her. She kept referring to it as the Wolf's Den, Wolf's Lair. Something's lost in the translation. If it's not French, it's crap. Language-wise. You know how it is.
Wow.
Do you know where this wolf's lair is?
No, she never said, but let's just say she hired me for information security, so there was very little she was able to keep from me. Yeah, I can tell you where it's at. But you better keep me in the clear with the Delphi Council.
I'll talk to Quinn.
Someplace in Tharcold. It's called the Krem, and there's you see it happen before the sound reaches you, and he goes to the right, and the right side of the ambulance just sprays with brain matter and blood, and then the sound of a high caliber shot comes ringing across the harbor, and like people are pushing people down. The major kind of grabs your shoulder to kind of push you down, Edith, and then when you don't give, just lets go and sort of looks around and starts again chattering into her radio.
I want to leap in front of the weasel.
You want to try and leap in front of the weasel?
Yes.
All right, it will require a possibility.
Yes.
And a heroic maneuver check.
Okay. How high is heroic?
A heroic is 18.
Okay. Yeah, here we go.
Ooh. Saving the NPC.
Rolled an 11, that's +0. That's not going to do it, so I'm going to have to blow in a second possibility on this. That's a 10 and a 15, so 25, 36 total, +9. That makes it a 22 maneuver.
All right.
2 possibilities spent. And
so there is a flash, and the blood still sprays, but you can see that Lady Salvo has sort of pushed the weasel out of the way. And Lady Salvo, I'm going to say that you're going to split the difference with the weasel here. So, what is your dodge here?
My dodge?
Yeah, so
16.
16? All right, so it's not a good success that hits you, but it is still, your toughness is 9, yes?
Correct.
All right, so it'll be 1 wound and 2 shock, which means he will take less than that. And so you thought it might have been brain matter, but it turns out to have just been gauze that was struck by the shell, and kind of like as it exploded, it got mixed up in with the blood. And as you look, you can see that there's a hole in Lady Salvo's shoulder, and there is a furrow from where the bullet that was meant for his head, he kind of got pushed down and back, and it went across his chest, like the trajectory was changed.
And they're taking out the gauze on his eye.
The weasel.
I shove him down hard, like just stay down.
Maurice has very clearly hit the deck. No one needed to encourage him, but he's trying to kill me. He's trying to kill. You said you'd protect me, V.
Who's trying to kill you?
Listen, the wolf, he has agents everywhere. Lapis brought him the plan, but he is the one who saw how good it could be. The Delphi Council has been making great inroads. Stealing,
what part of this doesn't make it look like we're taking you seriously?
You Whoever you are taking it seriously.
We're all
you
taking
took
it
my
seriously.
eye.
Question.
You freely took a hard drive from a hacker and didn't check if there was a virus.
There is
That
no
is
honor
hacker
among-
code 101.
There is no honor among thieves with you, is there, V? What is your question, Anton?
Is the bullet stuck in the ambulance?
No, it totally shattered upon hitting the side of the van.
Frangible.
No parts.
I mean, really tiny, like, it would take you... Give me a find roll. Let's see if you can find a large
I just
fragment.
need a piece that I can pick up and touch.
Yep, give me a find roll. We're going to make this a heroic find roll to try and find a piece large enough to actually do something with.
Where did that shot come from? I mean, I say that out loud, and I'm also like looking.
As you kind of look around, your guess is from the warehouses, sort of across the way, kind of part of the harbor area here. It's
Major.
the only place.
Major, over there.
She grabs some guy who just comes running up. He's got like a lab coat on, the pocket protector, the big glasses. Simon, you tell her what she wants to know. The rest of you with me. And so she kind of holds up her hands, and someone tosses her a shotgun, and she sort of grabs it, checks it, and starts leading a squad of about 8 Delphi council members across the harbor towards the warehouse area.
I nod with approval.
Hi, I'm Simon Finch. I was told to... And he kind of holds up a manila folder that has sticky notes sticking out of it. You can see it's about a half-inch thick, filled with paper clips kind of reflecting off of the light. This is all of the data that I've correlated over the last 3 weeks.
Edith, can you take care of that?
Turn on your charm, Edith.
A fight's gonna break out.
Listen, there's so many choices.
We will be running a poll next week. No.
Can I have this?
Yes, this is...
These are bottom line it for me. How many disappearances?
42. Which may not seem like a lot, but when you start correlating where they were taken all in a very small, about quarter-mile radius around Central Park. And when you cross-reference that with the unexplained deaths that have been happening in the park,
Deaths also?
yes.
Do you have those also in this file?
In this file, yes, or in this city?
What? I mean, I assume that if they are in the city, they're in the file.
I mean, not all of them, but the ones that were relevant statistically to the data that I have been correlating, yes. You can see that all on the graph on page 56. There's also
Thank
a
you.
Venn diagram on page 57.
And what is the current theory on the cause of this file?
Well, I mean, if you would like, do you want the city's
Is it
theory, do you want
werewolves?
my theory, or do you want my supervisor's theory?
I want your theory, Simon.
Well, this ought to be good.
Excellent. Well, my theory is that someone has imported something from another cosm, and that they have brought it here to the city for some sort of purpose. I'm guessing either Isle, which is known for its, or Orosh, which is known for its.
Werewolves.
Both are to merely boil down what you can find in Isle or Orosh to werewolves or vampires is to severely limit the burgeoning field of xenobiology.
Thank you. You've been very helpful.
That is all I have been trying to do for the last month. I am very helpful. Statistics are a very beautiful tool that allow us to look at the world in new ways. Where are you going?
Simon, you're going to want to take cover. Have a good one.
Anton, is there something you can do about this?
Did you ask Simon that?
No, Anton. I'll say Anton.
Like Simon could like tell you about the statistics on people who survive high-powered, shots like that. But what do you got, Anton?
I point to the ambulance and the techs that were taking care of the weasel. Maybe they can help you. I do not fix other people.
Okay. I guess I'll go to the
I can
medic.
teach you to attune your mind to heal yourself, though. Come, we sit here on wharf. Get a little gong. Now you must empty your mind.
I'm talking to the medic.
Where are you going?
All right, so the medic is going to give you a medicine roll, and with an 18, you will ignore your wound penalties when you make your strength check to recover. You have been treated.
Nice.
I should probably also be treated.
You are also treated.
Okay, sweet.
Anton, they have these things called Percocets. I don't know what they are, but they're wonderful.
Lady Salvo is seeing smells and tasting colors at this point.
Well, she's not in horrible pain, which is a good start.
All right. Listen, the Kremlin. That is where she is most likely going. Also, just so the chat knows, Restar definitely is getting a possibility point to use in his own games for reasons that will be revealed later. Just thought I would mention that. Quinn comes back. I leave you for 10 minutes, and it looks like chaos follows you. Have we learned anything?
We learned that someone doesn't want Weasel to talk.
He wants to pop him.
Well, those of us...
They don't want us to weasel out any information.
Those from Core Earth do not necessarily appreciate those who would give up information. They have a saying here, but that is neither here nor there. Did he survive?
Yes. We'll eventually ferret out his secrets.
He's alive. So Weasel, what did she have you encrypting? What did she have you working on? Are you the source of the GodNet here in Philadelphia?
Yes, thanks to the aid of the Frenchmen and the money supplied by our shadowy backer. There's now an EMT kind of grumbling, like, what the hell is going on here, as he bandages up. The Weasel now is fully in, like, gowns and blankets. We were able to smuggle out a relic of the GodNet. A reliquary, perhaps more specifically. Something that possessed the essence of the GodNet. And, well, not super potent, it was enough for me to work my magic.
Where is this reliquary now?
I assume back in Philadelphia. It was at the South Purse. Did you not know that? Was I able to keep something from you?
I hadn't had enough time to track it down. Things keep exploding and blowing up, but I was getting close.
Ask Maurice.
Where did you say the reliquary was, Jim?
At Fortuna's Den.
Oh, okay, in Fortuna's Den.
I wonder, says Lady Silva out loud, if the Frenchman's penthouse has a view of Central Park.
Could be. Weasel.
Yes.
Where was she keeping the ledgers?
You mean the big books? I tried to tell the Frenchmen.
I know.
Make it all digital, but he insisted that for some reason old school was better. Anyway, she always kept them with her.
Okay.
The last time I saw them was we were here about just over a week ago at some large apartment that she had rented out. I don't remember seeing them in Philadelphia.
And where is this apartment here?
I do not know. It overlooked like your friend said, a large park.
I have an address.
I will turn and talk to Quinn and try and talk to him a distance away from the weasel.
Okay.
And just say, we need to keep him alive. He has information. But he is also a relatively skilled hacker. So if he gets his hands on any tech, he will try and escape.
Do you think we can
weasel
turn him?
his way out?
The chat has decided that there is a new
Drinking game.
there is a new archetype for Torg characters called the Pun-isher.
I love it. I'm not sure. I think he could be bought, but I don't know if his loyalty couldn't
goes
be
only as far as
the highest bidder. But he has information. He has been crippled. It's going to take him a while to get that bug out of his system. He seems willing to cooperate, but you're going to want to put him in a room with zero tech.
Sebastian speaks up loud enough to for a stage whisper, kind of over your shoulder as he glares at the weasel. In Tharcold, cranial bombs would be the order of the day.
I thought they were worms, like cranial worms.
There are the cranial worms for bringing the dead back to life.
Oh, they don't sit in your ear and make you do things you don't want to do?
No, that's a completely different cosm, Maddie.
Do they translate other
Legally
languages to your own
distinct.
language?
We're a big bunch of nerds.
Come for the game, stay for the puns.
That's a fish, and that's a different cosm.
It's also a different cosm. But those two cosms are definitely adjacent, we shall at least say. All right, so
There are
Quinn
no
goes...
boundaries.
There's a Venn diagram on page 57.
There is a Venn diagram on page... Lady Salvo, possibility point.
Yay!
All right, if you need anything, and he kind of looks over your shoulder, and you guys can all see the flames that are still being fought on the aircraft carrier, sort of reflecting in his eyes. I can get you some resources.
Lady Salvo hesitantly raises a finger. I'd love to call a cab, but I don't know how.
He pulls out a phone, and he's like...
They don't seem to respond to whistles.
It's called Uber. I do have an address.
Yes.
Quinn, before we go, did you have a backup of this file, or was this the only copy?
It should be arriving at the next data jump. And have to find one of the tech heads around here to figure out exactly where it's going. But I can let you know if it's still viable. Why? Who are they after?
It would appear Lady Salvo's after the team that left her for dead.
You mean
If we can get their names and locations, that would be a huge help.
Lapis is the bad guy. Lady
Lapis
Salvo.
Oh, sorry. Salvo wants to kill everybody.
Lapis is
Plot
the bad
twist.
guy who has the guns of Lady... Or, Lapis is the bad guy who has the guns of Lady Salvo. But Lady Salvo has the guns of Lapis.
Yeah. That's something Edith might have noticed, actually, is that the guns that I'm carrying around are slightly different.
You can
Lady
sniff the
Salvo.
guns.
May I touch your gun,
Are
Lady
you going to
Salvo?
lick the gun?
I'll pull one out and sort of offer it to you with a Spock eyebrow. I'm like, what?
I will concentrate.
Do you have to lick it?
While you make that roll, here is the update from the chat, Horseman. First of all, welcome to Josh. Glad to have you watching tonight. They said Anton needs an AK-47 with a grenade launcher.
He totally does.
RPG.
Bad
RPG
jokes give
time.
+2 to any stat, but the joke must be said out loud. The hitchhikers cause him? ? The Venn diagram of Orosh monsters and Central Park, the intersection is Edith. Mayhaps. All right, what'd you get, Mark?
Wait, forgot. So 18 after I spent another possibility. And I concentrate because this world lapis.
Mark, I thought you were getting new dice.
Yeah, I thought I'd give them one more shot, but I think they're going to go into the grinder and become powder.
All right.
Oh,
so what do I need to tell you?
challenge is 12, so it's 5 over. So if the object's owner is dead, the side can feel it and gains direction toward the body. So if it's within 24 hours, I can smell, touch, and then focus on the object. I get a general sense of where the person is currently located. I can use it to track, and as I get closer, and I know more specific.
You definitely, as you sort of, as you hold the gun that was Lapis's, and the sounds of the harbor sort of fade away, your vision sort of dims, you definitely smell this coppery scent, this scent of earth. You can hear sort of a wet kind of sploshing, sucking noise as if someone is tramping through like mud. And as you look around, you seem to be in some sort of dirt and wooden tunnel, and you definitely feel the feeling of someone or something being tormented sort of pervades the area.
North of us, south of us. I mean, I don't think it's east because that's over the ocean, and she hasn't been gone that long. Back towards Philly.
Let me pull up my map. It is.
Maybe it hasn't happened yet.
It is north of you.
Like Canada?
No, so you're on the docks, and did I do this right? Let me just see this here. Yeah, no, it is north of where you are at on the harbor.
Huh.
Sebastian, she is north of here. Underground, damp, wet.
North, maybe northwest. It's sort of hard to tell from where you're at.
I will know more as I get closer. What is north of here? Besides Canada.
As you asked Sebastian, well,
Arctic Circle?
Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, the Bronx, kind of going north from here. Why?
That is where Lapis is. I can sense
Jersey.
her through this. This is. He looks at Lady Salvo. Is this park there?
What park?
North?
I don't know. You said something about park.
Is the Central Park north of us?
It is.
Now, something to keep in mind is that she has my guns Anton, so she could do the same thing to us.
If she has power like me.
Well, she seems to know a lot of people from your area. Just saying.
Do I need to get you an Uber to...
We should probably head to Central Park.
All right. Bennett! Where's
Do
Bennett?
you have? I
She
don't
was
know.
going
Uber.
over to the warehouse to investigate the shot, sir. Oh, that guy. Thanks. Simon! Right, Simon. Oh, that guy. I swear
have
his
T90
reports
tank?
have reports. What was that, Anton?
Do you have T90 tank?
I mean, I can get you one, but
Why
not
would
in
they-
any time soon. Don't
How
worry,
would you
Anton.
even-
Right, Starcold. Uber XL is like that. And he
Okay,
just
we
sort
go.
of walks away. About 10 minutes later, you can see that they're escorting a large SUV sort of down the street, and Sebastian is waving you over.
I think that's our taxi.
Quinn, is there a number we can reach you at that doesn't involve hacking?
You found the bat phone. Fine.
That's right.
He rattles off a number to you. That should get you through to me at least for the next 12 hours.
We will keep you updated.
All right. Hi. There's a lady driving the SUV, and you can see on the console is this scowling face of Sebastian Quinn. Are you? People are still
Yes.
naming their kids Sebastian.
I'll
Not
just
for
give it
me.
back.
For these four, wherever they want to go, just charge it. Right. So where
Central
to?
Park. Central Park, and make it snappy.
He looks around the SUV. So that is minigun.
I mean, I've got some waters back there if you'd like to have some. I don't have a mini bar in here.
He just takes all the water.
I'm starting to stuff them in my pockets.
This is a high-class SUV, Anton. Like, this kind of thing would not happen in Darkhold, right?
She
Maybe,
must be fabulously rich.
right? Maybe Volkov or his cabinet would have something like this. Fresh water in bottles.
Luxury.
That's right.
You want water? Edith?
I'll
Last
take some.
chance.
I'll think so.
All right, you guys head back into the city, and very soon traffic starts to get thicker, even though it's nighttime. Lady Salvo, again, while it is not Cairo, there is something oddly comforting about the bright lights, the people on the streets, even the kind of the
Smell of shawarma?
the smell in the air reminds you. I mean, it's not identical, but it's enough to sort of like you can feel like even though you've been shot, you can kind of feel muscles relaxing. Like, yes, this is a city that is in need of heroes, and that you know.
It's Mystery Man territory.
It is Mystery Man territory. Some might even call it a Gotham City. But soon you arrive at the large Central Park.
Or more of a metropolitan city.
That's true. Do you guys want me to just let you off here? Like, this
will do.
This is okay. It's a big park. You know that, right?
I just get out.
Cool. Have a good night. Don't forget to leave.
I
I
had
was
her
gonna
a
say,
dollar.
Anton.
Yeah, I'm
$10.
concentrating the whole time there, so...
Yeah, can you zone in a little better?
So you definitely felt like you were headed in the right direction. and then all of a sudden the link kind of goes, sort of jumps from strong to the northwest to very, very faint to the northeast. Like, almost at the edge of what even your powers would allow. Something happened.
She's moved very far east.
Hmm.
Maybe she's in one of those elos.
Well, if she is, there's no
at no
catching her
point
for that.
at no point did you
Was there
detect
travel?
the travel.
It just booped.
1 second she was heading this way, and the next second she existed very faintly a long distance away.
Do transporters exist in this cosm?
It's more likely she set some sort of trap.
Could be. Or she's very powerful psyker. I don't know.
Should we head to the apartment then instead of the park?
You do know that the apartment, that the address that Lady Salva gave you, if you were to cross the park, you would be right there.
Edith, don't you have some business here?
Edith? Lily, I think you're muted.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can?
Yes.
Yes. You have business in the park?
Yes. I would like to. I've been looking through the file that Simon gave me.
Okay.
Oh no.
This dude loved numbers. He loved... you don't even know what these things are. They seem to be like little L's that have different bars of different heights, or sometimes they have different squiggly lines of different heights. I'm pretty sure charts are not native to Orochi. Some of them have like clear plastic sheets that sort of overlay other sheets that sort of so if you skip all of that, there's really only about 4 pages of information, and if you skip all of that, I'm going to need an evidence analysis roll, which is also a mind roll.
All right, so I did not take evidence analysis.
So it's a strict mind roll.
Straight mind. What will a 9 get me?
Not a whole lot. Do you want to spend a possibility on it?
I could spend a possibility on it. Yeah, okay, I'll spend a possibility on it.
All right.
16.
A 16 is not just a normal success, but will be count as or not just a standard success, but will count as a good success. So you really kind of get the gist of it, which is impressive, sort of sorting through all of this guy's report. Essentially, like he said, a couple of weeks and months ago, people started disappearing, bodies started showing up, and while it was chalked up to just people disappearing, right? Core Earth kind of has this much more action-oriented, so people go missing, not all the time, but it's a more common occurrence. On the southern end of the park...
Taken was a documentary in this world, after all.
That's right, exactly. And apparently Simon has a very specific set of skills. And those are for writing up statistical charts and analysis. But the executive summary, you kind of flip through the whole thing, and then you guess that the executive summary at the front is what you need to be reading. Essentially, what has been written off as animal attacks, possibly gators, he believes to be werewolves. Or xenobiological or xenobiomorphic entities from either Isle or Oroch. They seem to be localized.
I don't read all of those words. I mentally substitute werewolves.
That's right. Just find replace in your brain. but they seem to be happening on the south side of Central Park, all within like an eighth of a mile around this. Like to you, to the reports that he's referencing into his thing, he has these charts and whatever. You know that this is like these are like this is territory being marked out by some sort of dark entity. Like you wouldn't use any of these terms, but this is how you would track down a werewolf's territory back in Orosh. Like Simon may have a love of numbers, but he came to the right conclusion. He is definitely not up for being a monster hunter.
He'd be a good monster hunter assistant, though.
That's right, sidekick. He is definitely sidekick to sidekick material.
He and Maurice.
That's right. They are your men in the chair, so to speak.
So do I think it's a den? Do I think it's young werewolves? Do I think
well, you did get a
Teen
good
Wolf.
success. So
Teen Wolves.
Teen Wolves. There seems to be a lot of pickup basketball games. So your guess is that it is, if you saw these kind of things back in Orosh, you would be worried. Because with a good success, they let you, they lead you to believe that this is a pack.
okay?
Which doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense to you. Normally, packs take months to get established. They just don't seem to spring up out of nowhere. But as you guys get out of the SUV, it is nighttime. That dog howl that everyone else seems to ignore, you know what it means. The pack is out, and they're ready to start hunting.
All right. Well, I am going to inform my compatriots that I happen to know. I have good reason to believe that there is a pack of werewolves out on the hunt as we speak.
Well, we can't let that happen. Get my guns out.
I was gonna say, do we really want to go in there then? Do we just want to go to the apartment?
If they're preying on the innocent, they should be stopped.
I don't want the werewolves to follow us to the apartment.
Right. So
Maybe
should
wants
we
to
just
sit in the
walk
car.
around the park? I'm just saying, 2 techno demons did some damage.
Yeah,
If this is
V
a
does
herd
not look like
of
she
werewolves,
is at her in her prime.
Herd of werewolves. I don't know if we want to take that on.
Herd is for prey animals. These are not prey animals.
We would be the herd.
Well, pack then. Pack implies many.
Right.
I'm just. Yep.
The car kind of pulls away.
Yeah.
leaving you standing
Fly
on the
away.
side of the. Remember 5-star reviews.
Are we supposed to go to the paper? How do we do a review?
That's right. You can give her a number 1 with a bullet if you had a paper, but
What part of the park do you think they're in, Edith?
Is there a map in this report?
there is, and so from where you're at, you're guessing you're about halfway up. I mean, it's really weird. First of all, what the hell is a park? Second of all, to what you're looking at, it looks as if they sort of took nature and kind of set aside some part of this concrete monstrosity dedicated to the natural habitat that you would be used to. From your guess is if you're here and Lady Salva's apartment is across the narrow
It's the Frenchman's apartment.
the Frenchman's apartment. The apartment that Lady Salva was heading to is just across the park. If you turned towards the south, It's in like the bottom third of the park.
Okay, so it's definitely not in the direction that Anton is being summoned.
No, Anton is now being summoned to the east.
Yeah.
He lost the thread of northwest before you arrived at the park while you were still coming from the south.
Well, people may be in danger while we're just standing around talking. I think we should go check it out.
The apartment?
No, the werewolves.
Werewolves?
Yes.
Werewolves.
They're wolves.
Their castle.
Their castle. Their apartment. I mean. Edith, do you want to go hunt werewolves?
I always want to go hunt werewolves. Can V get to the apartment without us, or
Yeah, I mean
That doesn't seem like a good idea to me.
she does have
Well,
the
no.
she does have the address
but
A mean right hook.
and
Is
the
she going to
mean
get
right
access to the
hook.
apartment without us?
I mean, I can start making my way across the middle. Where did the howl sound like it was coming from?
To the south.
Okay. So if I just start walking across the middle.
But
I
this
think
is a
the
pretty
The
good way.
werewolves are far more likely to attack a person on their own than a group.
Yeah.
Yes, we could use you for bait.
Anton, she has a laser in her arm.
Good, she can shoot werewolf.
I mean, if the group wants to go hunt werewolves, I can hunt werewolves from the back. I'm just not so good in a fight. So
Yeah, evidently neither is Anton by last week's rules.
I am more of a liability. Give me a computer, got it. Werewolf.
I don't know that I want to fight the werewolves. I want to see where their lair is and see
You
what
want
kind of
pets?
information we can get about them, and hopefully stop them from taking, an innocent bystander.
So you want to try and sneak up, is what I'm hearing.
I want to follow the werewolves.
A stealth operation. I can do this. I'll scout ahead.
Give me.
Yeah, I'm not looking for a fight necessarily, although I suspect we may end up there.
All right,
Well,
so
can you stealth Edith? If you want to stealth ahead with Lady Salvo, I can hang back with V because I'm not stealthy.
Yeah, I have stealth.
Yeah, I don't think I'm stealthy. I'm stealthy on the godnet.
I was gonna say, you're a hacker. Surely you have some measure of stealth.
Digital.
So do you
digital
want
stealth.
that? Do you want that relic so you can carry the godnet around wherever you go?
I mean, yeah, that'd be great.
That would be kind of awesome, actually.
all right, so whoever is stealthing with Lady Salvo, give me an appropriate
Stealthing with
roll.
Lady Salvo
Where is
roll?
everyone else going?
I mean, maybe we'll stay a little bit back.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm gonna trust Anton on this one. I'm just like, I this is way out of my league. I will follow your lead.
I will just put my hand on Lady Salvo's shoulder. I will drop concentration on the guns and lapis, and I will attempt to concentrate so I can track Lady Salvo, and that way they can go ahead and we'll know which way they're going. We don't have to see them.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm gonna try.
I like it.
I spent a possibility to get a total of a 19.
Who else is sneaking up?
I am sneaking also, and I also will have a total of a 19.
Well,
Woo!
that's super easy for me. And you two are heading, kind of staying back, V and Anton.
Out, and I got a 16, so I succeed. It's not a good success, but that's just if they die anyway. So,
Thanks, buddy.
I can
Appreciate
track
the vote of confidence.
well, outstanding, I can even track you outside to another cosm. So,
Ooh.
as long as you're within this cosm, we're good. I know you're down there. So, we can let you kind of get out of sight, and then I know we can start.
All right.
Maybe we're the bait.
So in the core Earth version of Central Park, there are a lot more trees, especially as you head towards the southern end of this thing. Lady Salvo, as you and Edith kind of head there, you kind of hear that the sounds of the city even start to seem muted. You can hear the little, like, the buzzing hum of lights that are struggling to stay alive, and you kind of move out of this area of dimness into this area where most of the lights are out. And you both start to feel this sense of unease as you head into it. People who are walking past you, they're not looking at your eyes. They're trying to get through this part of the park as quickly as possible. A number of people actually give Edith the stink eye more than Lady Salvo. Maybe it's your giant fur additions to your Monster Hunter duster. But you, Lady Salvo, you don't have a hat. You just have the mask.
I do.
Right?
I have a hat.
You have a hat,
right?
So
I will spend a possibility if some guy runs up and goes, "Wow, that's great cosplay."
You don't have to. Some guy is like, "Are you Lady Salvo?" And he kind of pulls out a comic, and it's very weird. He pulls out this strange, like, newspaper book that has you on the front of it, punching out some guy who has a very tiny mustache. It's very weird.
Wow.
Reference to Captain America #1. However, as you get down there, as the tracks that you kind of you start to pick up the claw marks on the trees, the little piles of bones that werewolves sort of leave to mark their territory, and things start to feel more and more oppressive as you kind of head into this area. And as you come around the corner, you can definitely hear the sound of the werewolf pack sort of off to your right, Lady Salvo and Edith. Edith, I assume you kind of informed Lady Salvo of, like, what these sounds are, what to listen for, that sort of thing. But to your left, almost to the south, you can smell. It smells like a butcher shop, an abattoir, further to the south. So you can hear, like, the pack seems to be away from this, but all of the signs of their territory and this smell lies to the south. Where do you guys head?
I'm going to leave that up to Edith.
I want to go towards the smell.
To follow her.
The abattoir,
All right.
another French word.
I do love the word abattoir. All right. So you guys kind of come up. As you kind of make your way, the trees here seem thicker, and Edith, they feel almost more Orosian than trees that you have seen in this area before. And as you come around, kind of pushing your way through these saplings to kind of get into this dim hollow that lies here, kind of hidden away from all of the paths you have left behind, the lit paths where you saw the towards the center of the park, the people in horse-drawn carriages with little blankets pulled up, kind of snuzzled up to each other. You know, those at least seemed a little familiar. Maybe not with all the lovey-dovey stuff, but you're used to horse-drawn carriages. As you kind of push through here, you can see why Anton suddenly lost track of Lapis. And you know why people have gone missing. In the heart of this hollow, Lady Salvo and Edith, you see a massive, twisted and dead tree that seems to be weeping thick, viscous red sap. You can see that the roots at the base of the tree kind of rise up, and it looks almost as if there is the roots sort of form a gnarled entrance deep into the ground. And you can see, bound, staked, roped to the ground, and gagged.
Sorry, I couldn't hear what you said.
Yeah, Siri, I wasn't talking to you. I do apologize for that.
Not this time, right?
Hey.
Way to break the tension. Normally it's one of the other players. You can see where the missing people of Simon's report are. There are Gospog roaming this hollow.
Ooh.
Terrible gifts of the Gaunt Man that are grown inside dead hosts. These sort of... You fought them in the basement, in the parking garage of the hospital back in Philadelphia. They are organic, like rotting organic flesh bound together by the roots of these nightmare trees. And Edith, being from Orosh, you recognize a nightmare tree. But you have heard rumors. You have heard rumors that the Gaunt Man has developed a new and terrible version. So you know that a nightmare tree is a seed that is planted into a living person. And that is what that is. But you also see these dim threads and strands kind of gathering around the tree. And you know that a dim thread tree acts as sort of a passage between cosms. Normally you have to physically travel to where the cosm has invested into a reality. But the Gaunt Man can link whatever places he wants to together by way of a dim thread tree.
Now you're thinking with portals.
That's right. Now you're thinking with portals. And that is probably why Anton lost Lapis's thread. For a moment, she was here. And then wherever this tree leads, she's suddenly somewhere else.
Suddenly she portaled away. Okay.
Darkhold.
And now...
She made like a tree and left.
Lady Salvo's middle name is Biff. I am now going to roll to see if the Gospogs of the first planting notice you. You guys set the difficulty at 19.
Good luck.
Correct.
I do not... Well, I rolled a 13, which brings their fine to a mighty 8. So these creatures, these rotting vegetation, they're corpses that are sort of bound and intertwined with rotting vegetable matter, vines that seem fecund and swollen with just an overabundance and overripeness of decay. There are a half dozen of them, and they are shuffling around, sort of keeping watch. And every so often you hear a low, you can see where they've sprouted out of the corpses. But every so often you hear a low and tortured moan when the wind blows through the limbs of the dim thread tree. Edith, you know there's someone still alive at the heart of that tree, keeping the portal open.
I'm gonna put my my earpiece in and turn on my weird science music device, and it's probably gonna play. It's just it's the Urartian influence now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're. Meanwhile, V and Anton, you guys are following. A couple hundred yards back. Anton is like, no, they're still there. They're still there. They're still there. They're still there. What are you two doing?
Just following. But maybe not 200 yards, but closer, maybe like 100 yards. We're not too far away.
Okay.
So I know Edith is tracking the werewolves. since I have Edith tracking, or since I have Anton tracking Edith tracking the werewolves, can I pay attention for anything else that might be going on? Anything not werewolf related?
Sure, give me a find roll. You can definitely see that it does not look like all of the tracks here. There aren't the ones that Edith seems to be, that Edith and Lady Sallow are on a direct path for. Seem old. Like several months old, as if things aren't coming near here anymore. But every so often, you do see the remnants of... it looks like things have been dragged back towards this path. Dragged into the denser trees. Some unconscious, some unwilling.
I think I'm going to try to get Edith's attention and kind of point at myself and then point at 3 of the Gospog. And then kind of look at her.
Okay.
Get that surprise.
It is entirely in your hands.
I know. It always is.
You only had exploding sun bolts.
Haven't
While
had
they
time
think
yet.
about this, I don't know if you noticed tonight, but we have the French cover to the Torg horror rulebook, and it
awesome.
looks spectacular. So, figure I'd plug that while I'm trying to buy you time, Edith.
Are there Gospogs on the cover?
Yes. Also, you can find Gospogs in the Tharcold Game On program right now, which is going on.
They're everywhere.
Even in Russia.
Yeah,
Frozen
the sad
gas
news
box.
is that I don't have like an exploding weapon. I've got a crossbow and a saber. So, you think you can take out 3 of them?
Oh yes.
All right.
Indubitably.
I will watch your back and take the first of whatever comes at us.
Okay. So, JM, I guess I'll line up an attack, and I want to shoot at 3 of the Gospog.
All right, this will be a surprise round. Restar, who, by the way, not only called the dim thread tree as soon as Central Park was mentioned, but also called the fact that the reason that Edith feels so at home and that the tension is rising is because at nighttime, the area around a dim thread tree is a mixed zone with Orosh. So both
Nice.
Orosh and Core Earth realities sort of hold sway here. They're competing against each other at night. All right, so we're going to do a surprise round.
Now, you said 3 of them's -4, right?
3 of them would be -4 for it. It is 2 extra, so a total of 3 extra actions, which is a total of -4. However, if players surprise their foes, you may place 1 card from your hand immediately into your drama deck. And when I draw the drama card for this round, if the villains would go first, I skip their entire turn this round.
Okay. I'm ready. I have placed action.
Normally at 8 o'clock, I would say, hey, let's pause here because we're going to start a combat scene. However, next Tuesday, just as a plug, I will be gone for Tuesday, Thursday, Tuesday. Mark who plays Anton, will be running the Dark Eye for 3 sessions. So tune in for a very limited 3-shot of the Dark Eye. So we're going to do this combat scene here, and we're going to end with the combat scene tonight. So, Lady Salvo, what card are you putting into play?
Action.
Okay. Edith,
I
do you
will
want
put
to put
a
a...
second chance.
All right. So I'm going to let you two guys go. Anton and V, you are just as surprised as the Gospogs that fight has broken out. So I'm not going to let you put a card into the pool, but we will...
No. And then as soon as I hear gunfire, I'll start to run towards them however long it takes.
All right, so I'm at a -5 total with my wound.
Okay.
So yeah, and then surprise gives a bonus or any other. Sorry, let me backtrack. Are there any other bonuses or penalties in play, like for lighting?
There are penalties in play because it is dark here, so that is a -4 to shots made in this dim hollow.
That's a -9.
That is a
Okay.
-9.
Lovely.
You can do it.
All right, so that drops me down to a 13 on my fire combat.
Well, I'll let you know that 13, I think, still hits a Gospel.
No, I mean that's just before I roll a die.
That's
so.
right.
Yeah, and that's still higher than my fire combat.
All right, so I rolled an 18 on the die, so that's +5, so 13 and 5 is an 18.
That is an outstanding success on each of the Gospels.
Nice.
V and Anton, you hear a crack, crack, crack as 3 shots from very familiar 45s
Infinity.
go off.
Actually, Infinity, yeah, familiar-ish.
They were shot
so-
at us.
25 damage AP2 on each on the Gospogs.
All right, well, that's 13 over their toughness. So
I got
that
an
is
Infinity on the.
2 wounds
attack.
and 4 shock. And you know what? Gospog, they are immune to shock, but they wounds will take them out. So what does it look like as you fire these 3 shots off?
Well, normally I'm very conscious about like trying to take people captive, and I don't really go around just like killing people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Gospog, I already know are, I'm essentially putting them out of their misery. So this is the Walking Dead moment for me, where it's headshot, headshot, headshot from the darkness, and I'll just sort of, lean out from behind a tree, and then you see in the staccato blast of the 2 pistols. You see the flashes of her face. She looks resolved.
All right, Edith, what do? You see 3 of them fall, and the other 3 turn to look right in your direction.
I shoot the one that's nearest to us.
All right, give me a fire combat roll.
I'm gonna go ahead and re-roll that.
Remember to add to it.
That's better.
-4 for lighting.
Yeah, and a -4 to your total for lighting.
All right. 14.
A 14 is a good success, so you will do your base damage plus 1 extra die of damage.
Oh, I'm calculating damage wrong. 16 damage.
Nice. That's good.
All right, what does it look like?
Twang. Fuck. You're the Daryl part of the Walking Dead.
That's
moment.
right. It's
Yeah, headshot also.
all right. So as each of those those 4 of those Gospogs hit the ground, several things happen. One, you can hear the sound of like roots ripping free from the earth on the far side of the tree.
Oh no.
2, Anton and V, you guys start taking off at just a hard run towards this hollow. 3, you hear the sounds of howls responding to the sounds of gunfire. So I'm gonna flip over this first card. If villains go first, I ignore their turn. So actually, what I'm going to do is, Lady Salvo, do you want me to cut?
No.
Okay. Heroes go first. This is you seek an advantage. Villains go first. Sorry, standard scene. Dang it. Villains go first, so we're going to skip the Gospog and the werewolves' turn.
Whoops.
But it is a surge for the hero, so on your turn you will have to check for surge, and you feel this fear, this inhuman, supernatural terror sort of radiate from the tree. So on your turn, I will need you to give me a willpower test.
That's reality.
No, that's just willpower or spirit.
No.
Okay.
Do you want to go first, Edith?
Yeah. Spirit's not good for me. Yeah. I can do math. 14.
A 14. You are immune to the fear of the Gospogs in the trees. Now, just by the way, the approved actions for this round are maneuver or trick.
Well, that's good because I would like to maneuver around them and see if I can find the person inside the tree.
You would have to head into the tree.
Yep.
I'll cover you.
All right, give me a maneuver roll there, Edith.
Okay, I'm rolling a different one because this die is being disappointing.
Ice jail.
Dice jail indeed.
We have one at the studio.
Yeah? Like a real one?
Yes, Mark made us a dice jail.
That's funny.
It gets used a lot.
Yeah, well, it happens. 10?
A 10 hits for base damage against. You
maneuver?
successfully maneuver around the Gospog. So let me ask you this: as you're dodging and darting across this hollow towards the tree, you can either give the Gospog a -2 to everything that they do, or you can give Lady Salvo a +2 to attacking the Gospog.
I give Lady Salvo a +2.
All right. Dodging the vegetal and corpse-like creatures take swings at you, more from shock than actually attempting to connect with you, and you go darting into the entrance under this tree. You immediately smell. The smell of that coppery scent is much stronger. Your feet are sort of sticking into the mud underneath. Something is dripping down from above, but you catch the faint scent of gasoline and iodine kind of underlying everything here. But as you head in, Edith, you kind of get into this crowned area underneath the tree, and you can see sort of bound into the roots holding their head back, roots heading into the nostrils and mouth, and kind of holding the eyes open. You see this large man kind of just like disappearing into the root web up above, but definitely, and I need to stress this, definitely keeping the tree alive.
Kill me.
All right, so that's Edith's turn. Lady Salvo, and then we'll let V and Anton.
Are you sure we can't let Anton go first?
We can let Anton go first.
Okay, I see Gospogs.
You see a pair of Gospogs. Not quite
Is
a
he smoking 45s
stack of Gospogs,
A brace.
but definitely a pair. No, not a stack of Gospogs. All right.
A brace of
A
Gospogs.
brace of Gospogs. All right, go for it.
A juice, if you
I
will.
got the Pog reference.
Thanks, V.
I'm here for you.
And she was entirely unamused.
I can see that from the stoic look on Maddie's
I'm just
face.
waiting as this plays out for V to go. I told you we should just go into the apartment as we lick our wounds, bury our dead.
All right, so Anton, as you burst into the scene, you see Gospogs, and I need a willpower test.
Willpower. Yeah. Okay. First thing, willpower.
Oh, Edith needs to do a search.
Oh, and Edith, you need to give me a surge roll. That is true. Actually,
I gave you a surge.
did you roll? And it wasn't a 1?
It was not a 1.
All right, because technically all of your things are now considered to be an Orosh because it is a mixed zone. So you were fine.
I got a 15 on willpower.
All right, and then surge.
Sergio. What do I not need to roll?
A 1 at this point.
Okay. Good, because I rolled a 2.
All right, what are you doing?
I drop concentration to track Lady Salvo because I can see her. And I will... Pyrokinesis!
Yes! How about a little fire, Scarecrow?
I love your 1930s radio voice. And the chat had a really good suggestion. Next time when we have combat, I will try and have the Torg soundtrack playing for combat kind of underneath everything.
That is a great idea.
I know, right? Like, good. I hadn't even considered that, but I can do that because I'm running everything from here. What'd you get, Mark?
I'm still adding. I spent a possibility to roll because my first 5 really sucked. Then I rolled a 10 naturally, and then a 16. So 26, 31 is 10. So that's a 24. 24 against their dodge or dexterity.
That is an outstanding success.
Okay, I'll do 2d extra damage. That's 9. 23 points of fire damage.
What does it look like?
They just go up like torches.
Okay.
Oil-soaked torches.
I will say for this round, the darkness penalty drops from dark to dim, so -4 to -2. V. Or Lady.
Are both Gospog on fire and down? Okay. Use
Can
your laser.
Just
I
the one, yeah.
see Edith?
No. You see a hole in the ground where Edith-shaped boot prints enter.
I'm kind of guarding it.
Isn't there a tree with a hole under it? Yeah.
It's wearing heavily in French.
There was
Just.
a hole
Merde.
in the ground.
Tree in the bog in the ground. She will follow the Edith's footprints. Because
All right.
I don't want to be outside when the werewolf shows up.
All right, so V makes a beeline for the dim thread tree.
Gonna maneuver.
Give me a maneuver roll, yes. Yeah, give me a maneuver roll.
Oh, and I put willpower in play.
Oh, maneuver is the approved action. So
It
Edith
is. Oh, yes. Hey, by the
Abby.
way, Edith, you have Maelstrom. Until the end, if you want to play it, until the end of the hero's next turn, no one may spend possibilities or use abilities from Eternity Shards or Darkness devices, including travel via dim thread.
Don't forget to play cards.
V,
So, refresh my memory. hypothetically speaking, if you roll a 1, can you still spend possibility or no?
No. And granted, this was a maneuver, so you don't have to worry about the surge roll for rolling a 1. But I will tell you what happens. The other thing is I do need a surge roll from you, and this card goes back on the top of the deck.
And a willpower roll.
And a willpower.
Yes, and a willpower roll.
Well, 1 better, so rolled a 2 on that one.
All right, so you don't surge out, and then give me your willpower roll for I'm scared of the gospog in the tree.
That's an 8.
All right. So Maddie, you are very stymied at this point. So you take a -4 to your rolls because of the fear. You kind of come in here. You are used to fighting things of chrome and hard light. You are used to fighting the shining paladins of the Godnet, not horrific zombies that have ripped themselves free of the corpses of those who have gone missing, not a tree that lives off the blood of those stolen from their lives in this city. And as you go running towards the hole, you slip, or at least you think you slip. You slide a little in the mud, and then you pitch forward on your face because you realize one of the roots has grabbed your leg. And it's starting to drag you deeper into the tree. Not on the ground, but sort of up. And little roots kind of grab you, and they're sort of reverse crowd surfing you up towards the top of this root and knot filled cathedral, where you can see Edith below you, and you can see what lies in store for you as this man is slowly being fed on by the tree. And you realize you are its next meal.
Woo!
Lady Salvo, you are up.
All right, surge check. All right, I rolled a 16, so my 45s don't turn into flintlocks. That would have been awkward. All right, willpower check. All right, so that's a nat 20 and that's a 9, so 29, which is a +9 to will of 7, so 16.
All right, you are not afraid of these things, even in the least bit.
All right, I would like to do a maneuver and a shoot.
Okay, so that'll be a -2 from the dimness, and a -2 from the multi-action.
A -1 from the wound, so 5. All right, cool. So it's 1 roll that counts for both, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, there's the natural 1.
Oh, no.
Yep. I'm like, okay, I get ready, and whoops.
Click, 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 click.
We need a dice exorcism.
A dicercism? All right, so, Lady Salvo, you spin to shoot at the remaining 2 Gospog, and something lashes around your foot. Oh, right, the remaining Gospog, and something.
I've got this one. Whoa!
And you also get pulled down into the tree, and very quickly you catch up with V and Edith. As you look up, you see not only the original seed, if you will, of the dim thread tree, but it now has 2 of your allies. Anton,
Wait,
you're alone.
I want to look at V. I want to look at V and go, first time?
So
Expletives.
Beep, 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 beep.
Combinations of words that you have never heard or dreamt of in English, in French. You think there might even be some German and some Italian in there. You don't know.
All mixed up.
Just
All.
cause. All right, Anton, I'm going to flip the card, and I'm really hopeful for you as the lone member of the group outside in the hollow that this is. You give up ground. Villains go first, and all heroes at the end of their turn will take 2 shock. The approved action is defend. Anton, as you watch the trees part and a trio of werewolves come into the hollow, low to the ground, breath kind of steaming out of their nostrils and their muzzles. As they come in low, 2 of them dragging unconscious or nearly unconscious park-goers behind them. And as they all kind of look out, they look up at you, and their maws kind of split into large grins. And then
I make a fur coat out of all 3 of you.
the saplings part again, and a much larger wolf with sable fur kind of comes out, and she looks at you and she rumbles, "What was that about a coat?"
Edith gets to wear you.
And she will leap the distance, claws in the air. The Gospog starts to smolder and go out. As she lands...
she's a member of PETA, Anton, so she's very upset about the whole wearing fur comment.
Oh, Anton, that's a 19 to hit. Anton, I got a...
Get ready for that reality roll, buddy.
A 20 versus your unarmed combat.
Ooh, that would hit me.
Yeah, my melee, yeah. That hits. That's a outstanding success, because it's only a 10.
Well, they didn't explode, but they were both 5s. So,
Ow.
Anton, she hits you for a 26 damage as she kind of rakes you with her claws. What is your toughness?
12.
Dang.
So that beats you by 14. So that will be 2 wounds and 4 shock.
Join us next time where we all roll up new characters.
And you have
to
to go
quote-
out with a bang. You won't be here for 3 sessions.
Yes, to quote Sir Pratchett and Neil Gaiman, it's the other Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. The chat is like, you can't let them lose and then make us wait 3 sessions. All right, Anton, did you make your soak roll?
You have to have possibilities to do that.
All right.
Oh no!
Second chance, son.
What's that?
I have a second chance in play. You can use it as a possibility.
Oh, okay.
Soak.
No. Second chance allows you to reattempt an action.
Yeah.
Do you have a hero
He
in
really
play?
wants a good clean kill tonight.
All right, Anton,
No, I've
how
got
many wounds are you
I
at,
got
buddy?
willpower in play.
Okay.
How many wounds are you at?
Critical moment. Play them all.
That's right. I have 3. 3 wounds, 4 shock.
All right. So they land, and the other 3, you can see they kind of growl at you, but the pack leader kind of smiles over her shoulder, and they go, and you see they push their people into sort of the ruptured mounds where the other Gospog have emerged from, and they start slowly covering them up. The last Gospog, seeing as you are the only person here, attacks you.
Arr,
Anton.
arr, arg.
That's right. Oh. It hit a 13. Does that hit your...
Yeah, that hits. But just normal.
Just a normal hit. And you are at... you have an 8 or a 9 toughness.
12 toughness.
You have a
It's
12 toughness. All right, Anton. So that will give you deal 2 shock to you. Wait, nope, sorry. 1 shock to you. It is now our hero's turn. Who would like to go first?
When can you play a Cosm card?
You may play a Cosm card. What would you
Whenever.
like to play a Cosm card?
Well, I would like to say that V's prolific swearing is really, in fact, a rousing speech. That her combination of adjectives and expletives and a few adverbs is just enough to spur this group on.
I've had it with these blankety blank snakes on this blankety blank plane.
What?
You know where you don't get eaten by trees? The cyber papacy. You know where there aren't things that you stuff people into and they come alive and eat you? The cyber papacy. So let's just get out of here, back to some normal sense of civilization, away from this.
So, what does rousing speech do for the party?
I think it immediately gives them 2 possibilities.
Woo!
Rousing speech.
Yep. It grants everyone
Speaker and
who
everyone
can hear
who
her
can hear her
gains 2
gains 2
possibilities.
possibilities.
Mark, give me, with penalties,
Oh no.
give me a
Oh,
hard find check to see if you hear the rousing speech. Because you are outside the cave, there's a bunch of growling. There's I'm going to make it a challenging, so a 12.
-3 for the wounds or -4?
Whatever your wounds are currently at.
1, 2, 3. Well, 3 would be my.
All
I
right,
wish
so
they
first
put
of all,
this
the
on a
chat
smaller
is
font.
rallying around Mark and wants to grant him possibilities. Also, Greg just said that V speech could include Romans, countrymen, lend me your fucking ears.
In her case, it would be eyes.
That's
You know.
right. That's right.
Mhm.
All right.
Romanes Iunt Domus.
That's a total of 8.
All right. So, Mark, I will grant you the possibility that the chat is rallying for, because I know I have used chat possibilities to my advantage. You may spend it right now if you like.
Thanks,
Possibly
chat.
Oh,
phylacteries.
okay.
Yeah, I do have my GM phylactery, and I had it filled tonight. One of my players sent me a very lovely Scotch glass that says Game Master on the side of it. So thank you to that person.
All Anton hears is.
Yeah, you hear this.
That changes the roll to a 16.
All right, Anton, you can hear V. Whether it crackles over your radio, whether it just kind of seems whispered out of the darkness, you can
I
hear.
kind of cock an eyebrow because the tree's talking.
Yeah, no.
Voices are coming from the tree. I'm like,
It's her vitriolic swearing. It cuts through all of the chaos.
Vitriolic swearing, a new talent coming to you from this stream. All right, so who would like to go?
Can I also? Well, no. First, is this tree reality rated by any chance?
It is importing a bit of Orosh, so I'm going to say that possibly. What are you asking to do?
Well, I have this Cosm card called "Welcome to Our World."
So the tree
Do
is
it,
not
do it.
necessarily a foe. It is.
It's eating me. That's a foe.
Including people that I am teammates with.
It currently is trying to eat me.
Friend or foe? Identify yourself.
So you want to see if you can force the tree to disconnect.
Force it into the cyber papacy.
I feel like Maddie really wants this game to go to the cyber papacy.
Who doesn't want this game to go to the cyber papacy?
What gave you that idea?
They do have fresh baguettes.
Right. You can drink the
Um,
water. There's no trees eating you. I mean,
Not that you know of.
So here's the thing: if you want to play it on the tree to try and force it to disconnect, you'll need to know that one, it's going to be way easier for the tree to do.
Right.
Two, these things are linked to the Gaunt Man, so whatever role it has is going to be much higher even than a Storm Knight, right? This violates everything you know about the Cosms and how they work.
Right.
I'm not saying you can't play it. I'm saying it has a very low chance of success. It is
Okay.
up to you to make the decision, though.
So you're saying there's a chance.
So I'm saying
Werewolf.
there's a chance.
Mark's team werewolf.
Send
So
him back to London.
Mark, are you team Jacob?
We are sparkling.
Can I please take possibility away from her for that? No. Osver,
I don't know what I'm saying. I've
Osver
just heard,
says
you
the
know.
fact that vitriolic swearing isn't already in a splat book is a grievous oversight.
It really
Agreed.
is.
Well bet.
Do you want to play it, Edith? It is your call.
No. What about the lead werewolf?
The lead
you
werewolf
go.
is definitely a reality-rated foe.
Wouldn't vitriolic swearing also be vicious mockery?
No, I'm going to say that those are legally distinct.
Very important term. There.
Very important term. All right, Edith, are you spending it
Yeah.
on the lead werewolf?
Yep.
All right, so I have to make a 20 DN reality check. You know what you got to do, right?
Fail.
All right, so that came up a 16, which is a +3, which is not enough. So I will be spending one of her possibilities.
He doesn't want her to turn into like a chick with a knife.
That's right. I really don't want that to happen.
Or a Pomeranian.
16.
Roll an 11. Oh no, that's not gonna help. Never mind.
16, 28 is a +9. All right, so it took one of her 3 possibilities, but she, for a brief second, you see the fur ripple, and it reveals this very scarred, but very beautiful, like high cheekbone, aquiline features face, and then it immediately reverts back to a werewolf Anton. Edith, take your turn.
Not anyone we recognize?
No.
Okay.
All right.
Kill the dude. Kill it.
Kill the dude.
No, because then it'll start sucking my life.
Kind of my thought is it's got 2 alternate sources of.
I don't want to be the Energizer Bunny.
We got to shut it down. That's the only way is to take away the source.
Yeah, but maybe get me and Lady Salvo out before we kill the thing that's powering it currently.
Well, I'll burn the trees to get rid of the werewolves.
Protection level.
Yeah. So maybe you let Edith go last, and maybe you guys take your turns first.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I just shoot straight behind me and try and shoot myself out of the tree?
That will be very difficult. You're welcome to try. Otherwise, you can make a maneuver check to try and get out as well. You are very stymied for this round from the fear. Also, the
What's
chat
the
is coming up with great possibility types like the Teen Wolf possibility point that also grants you a +1 to standing on moving vehicles. The Dumb and Dumber possibility point, which raises your taunts by 1. Like, we have the best chat. I'm just going to toss this out there.
What's the approved action this turn?
The approved action this turn is defend still.
Right, got it. Okay.
So
How do you defend against a tree?
You don't.
you
You
don't.
got to get free.
Like, Anton could kind of like curl up into the fetal position and
Do I
defend
have to take
himself.
the active defense?
It would basically be an active defense, yeah.
So I can't use any of my cards because they're not in play. And I'm at -4.
Didn't you have a turn?
You did get to still put a card into play at the end of last turn.
Even though your turn was not successful, you still get to play a card.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well, then I will put adrenaline in. I guess I'll try and maneuver out of the tree.
There you go. You got possibilities.
All right, give me the maneuver check.
Oh, yeah, I just gave myself more possibilities.
Just a lot of wiggling. Just a lot of, like, throwing the wrist.
All right, so just so you know, Mark, if you take an active defense, you would make an armed combat check. All right, and the bonus that you get on the die roll
Adds to my
applies
defense, right?
to your defense, and you cannot make yourself less vulnerable with an active defense. So you always count as a +1.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'd get a possibility.
You'd get a destiny card. All right, V, what'd you get?
Okay, so 17, but then I'm going to use adrenaline to make it 20.
And that includes your very stymied?
No, it's a 16.
A 16 is still a success. So you guys, Edith and Lady Salvo, you see V sort of rip herself free, and she falls to the ground. And V, you do hear, "Kill me." Lady Salvo, you are up.
I'm gonna
And
try
I will
and
put coup de grace in.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and kind of fall over and kind of do the worm to try and get out of the tendrils. So it's a maneuver.
Okay, give me a worm maneuver roll. A breakdancing check.
That's a natural one. It just gets tighter. I'm like,
It
this
does
is not
get
working.
tighter. And
He can't re-roll with a second chance.
a second chance does allow you a reroll. Does it?
I was going to say, Lady
This may
Salvo.
be played after a mishap, which is a natural one, negating any effects before they occur. The
I have
effects of
second chance in play.
Would you like to give it to Lady Salvo?
I would like to give it to Lady Salvo.
You can trade it to me for action, and then I'll play it. So you now have action.
Okay.
I was going to say, Lady Salvo, if you'd like, I could just put Martyr into the pool.
All right. Well, it's gonna be a 11.
An 11 is enough to get out of the tree. So, Lady Salvo, for a brief second, you start to twist and turn free, and all of a sudden the roots sort of kind of go around right near your eyes, and you freeze for a second, and you worm backwards out of the roots. So the two of them have hit the ground.
You know, the way this is going tonight, I'm going to play Master Plan to put Second Chance back in my hand.
Nice. All right. Edith, it is your turn or Anton's turn.
You go first.
What?
You go first.
Okay.
Now you can kill him.
Yeah, well, can I shoot this guy point blank?
You can. You just need to take your action to say you are killing him.
Yep, I kill this dude.
All right. So
I
several
feel
things.
bad about it, but like not bad enough to not do it.
Wait, I'm gonna pile on. I'll look at her and say, "What have you done?"
Play a card. Put a card in play, Lily.
All right.
Oh yeah.
So several things happen at once. You see Edith, and all just slows down. Actually, Anton, what are you doing with your turn? And then I will describe what happened.
I will tell her, you could defeat me, but you won't win. And I'm going to pyrokinesis all the bodies that were just buried.
Whoa.
All right, so that is 3 bodies, so that will be a -4 to the roll.
Yep. That's what I was doing. Because I don't think I can take her before I go down. But I can take away the victims. Because I'm not sure really what's going on inside the tree. I can't see. So if I do that, then maybe my compatriots will come out. Or maybe they will abandon me like Lapis was abandoned. And I shall become her compatriot.
Wow.
This
We've been
story-
waiting for this moment to ditch Anton. We've just been waiting for the perfect.
That's right.
Now, everybody now.
There's a thought called Fur Coats Wear You.
Is it now? Do we leave him now?
I think right now.
We traveled in thread, right? We just leave him.
All right.
So you want my roll now to
Yeah,
do the
give me your roll now.
Okay. So it's their dodge or dex. I don't know if they have any for the target number.
So it would be the best of the dodge or the dex. Go ahead.
Anybody have any cards like Lily had?
Did you roll a 1?
I did.
I can trade you second chance.
What is with the ones?
I can trade you second chance.
Yeah,
Sure,
Anton, you could get second chance.
You want leadership or flurry
Flurry.
or rally?
Rally, actually.
Okay.
And I could still put Martyr into the pool, guys. That's still an option.
What's Martyr do?
That's what Kage played.
No, that's what Shawnee played to kill the dragon.
So
You
die.
succeed, but you die.
Oh, that's right. It wasn't what Kage played. Kage
He took Nemesis or something to.
no, yeah, he played not Martyr. It was like a last
He
breath
played
or
Nemesis.
something.
Yeah. So all right. So what are you doing?
So if
there,
I
Mark?
played Martyr, I could say, like, I do pyrokinesis point blank, and all the werewolves die, but I die too.
Yes.
Yes. You would go up in a beautiful conflagration of flame and outpouring of psionic power.
No,
There'd just be
Anton,
water
no.
bottles bursting
That's right.
as he goes.
There would be doves from somewhere, and definitely like a Hans Zimmer score. What are you doing, Anton? What'd you get?
Yeah, do you want the martyr or do you want the second chance?
Yeah, I'm kind of. Do you want me to get rid of the werewolves or kill the Gospogs?
What do you want to do?
Yeah,
It's up
this
to you.
is you.
I was going to kill the Gospogs and
Go for it.
live
All right.
to
Yeah,
Second chance.
do it.
rescue my unconscious body.
Second
I
chance.
was being tongue-in-cheek about the martyr. You don't need to martyr yourself.
Yeah, that was not an instruction.
That's a 3, so I'll use one of my possibilities.
Thanks, V.
Okay. Who knew swearing could be so useful?
So that's a 15 on my kinesis. I don't know what their dex or I forget what you said what the target was.
It is 12.
Okay, so that's a normal success of 14 fire to all 3 of the Gospog. Well, the bodies that were going to be turned into seeds.
That were going to be turned into seeds. All right, so Anton, you torch the 3 civilians that were pulled into this mess. And behind you, you hear a rumble. And as I said, kind of coming back, you see in slow motion, V, as you and Lady Salvo kind of roll up, you see Edith bring up the Slayer's crossbow and fire. And the guy sort of shudders. Lady Salvo says, What have you done? What have you done? But you see the guy sort of takes a shuddering breath and starts to crumble. And as you watch, that tunnel that continued down past you, past this like open room, the earth starts to close as the dim thread tree
Run,
starts
run.
to collapse, and the entrance that you went in, that you were dragged in for Lady Salvo and V, and for Edith, that you entered in, you can see that is starting to close. So you can either you have a choice, the 3 of you. Do you head deeper into the tree, or do you retreat back out into Central Park?
Now's the time to ditch Anton.
Bye, buddy. See you later. We gotta go.
What is your decision? Where do you head?
Central Park?
I grab the guy and go to Central Park.
Oh no, he collapsed to dust. Like
Did he? Oh,
yeah.
then I'm out.
All
I
right.
killed him. I told you I killed him.
All right.
Well,
Three
yeah,
of
I
you,
thought the body might be there, but
as
no.
you kind of come out of the tree, you can hear the creaking noise. The tree slowly starts to collapse in on itself. You make it out, the three of you, and as you look up, you can see that there is a werewolf that has Anton sort of by the shirt. There are three others in this hollow. You all take 2 points of shock. And that's where we're going to pick up in 2 weeks when I come back. Thank you all. Like, this chat, you guys are amazing. I love the fact that you are so engaged in the game. Anton, the chat doesn't always rule on my favor, and so I just want you to know that they were pulling for you tonight, buddy. We will be back. So next Tuesday, Thursday, and Tuesday. So for the next 2 weeks, Anton, also known as Mark, will be running the Dark Eye. We will be back on Thursday here on this channel for Fading Suns, where the group, do they find Perpetua? Do they encounter a Skagael? If you don't know what those words mean, go and check out the Fading Suns backlog on the Ulysses International YouTube channel. And again, please check out the Tharcold Kickstarter, the Ulysses Con that is coming up, and
Game
as
on
well.
tabletop.
What was that?
Game on tabletop.
And yes, the Tharcold Kickstarter, or, right, not Kickstarter, crowdfunding on Game on Tabletop. The Ulysses Con, you can go to the Ulysses North America website and find out more about that. Check out all of the great shows on the Ulysses channel. There are shows for Aventuria and for the Dark Eye and for Torg, and a Ulysses World News show, Heretical Musings with about Fading Suns, and Ross and I chat about Myth every Thursday. It's a new game coming out based off the board game Myth, which also has a show on the Ulysses channel. And we will see you all. Well, I will see you all in 3 weeks.
Anybody want some dice? Free.
Mark will see you all in a week. Thank you all for tuning in, whether it is here or on YouTube. Thanks again to all of the new people who tuned in tonight. And I will see you all in 3 weeks. Until then, keep rolling dice.